Hello everybody, it's me, Tori Gillum, here on my YouTube channel. So I was trying to go live yesterday on my Apple computer, but I guess I can't go live, and if I post something, it has to be a video that I made first throughout the camera app, and then I post it later on my YouTube channel, like right when I get off of making the video. So, it's a little weird, but I guess it's fine. But the thing I was wanting to go live about yesterday was, well, it was weird because I was actually doing it through my computer, but if I actually do a video, it's through my phone. So I guess it was a little hard because I don't really make videos on my computer. So anyways, the thing I wanted to talk about yesterday was that everything around you is basically stuff you see, stuff you touch. Almost everything is made from science or by science. Like the whole thing. Like juice, this is like a tea / juice sort of thing. It's green tea, but it's healthier and all that. But that is basically by science, like chemical science. It's not just tea. It has different chemicals in it. It's set on most bottles or most packets. It says like what's in there, as in like the ingredients, and then how much, like the nutrition facts. Like this one, all the tea, well, same tea I drink, Lipton tea, but here it says for the sodium 180, I think milligrams, I believe, yeah, mg, and then there's no sugars. There's 1 gram of total carb, and then 126 milligrams for vitamin C. And it says all the stuff, but I'm not really going to read the ingredients because there's a lot of ingredients, and usually when we have milk, it's usually just dairy, but you don't know for sure because it's just the nutrition facts of like a carton of milk. It doesn't really say what's in there. It's just the nutrition fact. It doesn't say like the ingredients. But in stuff like this, at least if you have like a bottle like this, like a water bottle or Lipton tea bottle or whatever, when it's like this, it says the nutrition fact and then the ingredients of what's in here. But I'm not going to read all of that because it would just be me saying boring stuff that you probably do not want to know. But yeah, like I said, science is all around us. Like plastic, this is a plastic ruler, but it's just not plastic. It's made out of different elements. And elements is something that we basically use every day because there's different kinds of elements. Like sodium, like I read off that bottle, sodium is an element and it's in the drink I'm still having. But this is a certain element, and yes, plastic is, I believe it's an element, but still, there's different stuff around that has elements or a cell or cells. If you go outside and you see a tree, it might not have a element, but it does have a chemical, or not a chemical, a cell, and that cell is a plant cell. Every plant around us has a plant cell. In us, we don't have plant cells. Even if we eat fruits or vegetables, even if we're vegan, we don't have that in us. We are humans, but there's no such thing as a human cell. So the other cell would be the animal cell. So we are basically animals, because even though we're not like a dog or a bear or whatever, we have animal cells in our body. So that is basically our main cell. Yes, now some of us might be vegan, like, or we might not. We might be an herbivore, which is basically just eating fruits and vegetables. We might be a carnivore, which is basically just eating meat, or it might be an omnivore, which is eating plants, eating vegetables, fruit, and meat. But we still have, even if we eat a plant, like as in like vegetables or fruits, they might have been alive before we actually eaten that fruit or vegetable. But I'm not a full-on scientist, but I don't believe since those were alive before we actually ate them, I don't think we contain the plant cell. I think the main cell we have is the animal cell in our whole body. We have the DNA. Of course, we have DNA. We have the animal cells. There's a lot of things in our body that regular things don't have. Of course, animals have basically almost every single bone in our body, but they might not, because they probably don't have the same bone, because some animals have the same bone and some of them are like different. So there's some animals that might have the same thing as us, maybe like dogs and cats, but they don't have every single bone. So that's what I was trying to say earlier. So I love science. If you're not into science, that's fine, but I would like some subscribers at least, because I know there has to be some people out there are interested in science as much as I am. Now when I was little, I didn't seem that interested in science, because I didn't get it at all. But then once I moved to Ohio, and I started learning about it, it seemed really interesting. Not just because there's first off, it was kind of because of the experience. But then, once the experiments were going through, it reminded me that I want to learn about science. I want to know about the human body. I want to know how an animal cell works. I want to know how a plant cell works. I want to know every single detail about science. And then I think maybe 2 years ago in 2020, I really wanted this book, but it was expensive, and my mom said it was on Amazon. My mom said, okay, I'll get you this book, but after that, I won't give it to you until Christmas. I said, okay. And then later on, Christmas Day came, and I got the book. Now, I know I'm not really into National Geographic stuff, but the book I have, that I just talked about, is National Geographic. And to be honest, if you love science, you should get the book I have now, because it talks about every science fact, everything you need to know. It talks about the human body and the cells. Of course, it talks about animals. It talks about cancer, whatever you can think of in your mind. It talks about chemistry. That's in the book I have. Now, it's heavy, but it's worth reading. Sometimes I don't even read it. I just do a video or whatever. But when I do read it, I have, 3 or 4 different notebooks. I'm going to fill them up with facts. The one I have, one of the ones I'm working on now is about the human body. And I thought I would be interested, because since of my disability, I can't really go to a college. And if I went to a college or I didn't have this disability, I would want to learn about science, because it really interested me. The only thing I really want to learn about in life is science. And science just makes me happy, because not only do I get to learn more, I get to learn more about myself. I get to learn about other people. I get to learn about animals, how we can take care of the world. I get to learn about how plastic, if we throw away garbage, is bad for us. I also get to learn about many different stuff. And I think I told this so far, 3 or 4 videos ago. But I'm sorry if I keep repeating this, but one of my favorite experiments was, we had red Solo cups in our class when I was in my special ed class, and it was really fun. So we had maybe 6 or 5 cups of Pepsi, and we had to try it, and then 6 or 5 cups of Coke, and then we tested both of them, and then we had to figure out which one we liked better. There was a lot of tally marks for Pepsi. I thought it would do that, because of course there's a lot of people out there who likes Pepsi, and of course there's a lot of people out there who likes Coke, but I think basically the main one for at least our classroom was Pepsi. And of course it's just a guess. Not everyone likes Pepsi, not everyone likes Coke. but it's just like something you would want to think about. Like when I got the book, I didn't know where to start, but my mom's an EMT. Oh, that's half her job. She's like a nurse's aide / EMT. But it's cool because she gets to work around all those people, and I can't do her job. Even though I graduated from high school, even though I did my 2 programs, I can't, do the same thing she does. But the only way I can think about learning stuff like that is through the book that my mom got me. I think it was like 2019 or 2020. She gave me that book for Christmas. And it was just so amusing. I mean, I don't go in there all the time, like I said, but it's just something you can think of, something you can learn without going to college and wasting a ton of money. It's something I can learn, and I feel like I can actually ace a test because I have a lot of notes down written in my notebook. One of my notebooks is like, I don't know for sure. I mean, I probably won't go into college, but I want to do something with my life other than just sit at a computer. Like, I'm looking for a job right now, but it's still like, I might like this job. I might want this job for the rest of my life or something, but it's like, it's basically just being a receptionist or a receptionist assistant. But the main thing I really wanted to do after I found out I really love science is do something like at least help someone. Like even if I am a receptionist, at least work at a hospital or have a company, like I don't know, like a company that'll help someone. Help someone or help change the world in a certain way. I mean, I kind of wish that we didn't have to go to war. I mean, because if you think about it, we're fighting and it's not good for the world. It's not good for our earth. And also, you're using all of that money. Plus, you're using stuff like metal and all that. And no one in the whole wide world cleans it up. I mean, if someone has to clean it up, it has to be the people that live in that area where we're fighting. We don't clean up our own mess. Plus then, even if you shoot someone, even if you don't, you're starting fires, which is bad for the world because almost everything catches on fire. The person that you shoot at, and then they get hit, and then you're probably going to shoot at that person, and if they die, they're going to die, and then there's probably fire right around that person. So it's basically like, why would you do this? Why would we start war? Why are we fighting? I mean, come on, people. The only thing I want best for the world is to have peace for us and the people around the world because it just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right for us. It doesn't seem right for them. I mean, I've been thinking about this ever since I heard about the war once I was getting older. I was like, why on earth do we have to fight? Can't we just make peace? I mean, let's think about it. It's just like, okay, kids might not understand this, but once you get older and you heard about it from your mom or dad, we still have that war going through Ukraine and Russia. I mean, why does that have to happen? I mean, I don't want to blame anyone. I don't want to blame Ukraine or Russia, but why is this war between them and us and another country we're fighting right now? I mean, I'm not in the war, of course, but why do we have to fight? There's like tons and tons of land that we can share. Why is there a reason to fight for it? I mean, if I were a president of either way, I would want to state that there was a way where we can have a treaty that leads to actually sharing the land. Because I don't understand why we have to fight for stuff if there's a ton of stuff left. Like say if there was one last candy bar in a store and people are fighting over it. I get that and I understand that. But if there's a bunch of that same candy bar, if there's like tons and tons of packet, then why fight over something? Like there's at least like 7 continents on this earth, and every single continent has tons of land, tons of states, and all that. So why even fight over it? I mean, yes, there's a bunch of people on this planet, but still, why would you need to fight? Like, why do we need to do that in the first place? We can just share it. So, yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it's war. It's basically war. But it's kind of science because they are leaving the rest of the bombs or whatever, the missiles and all that is not good for this world. I mean, you're leaving trash around here. Plus, if you think about it, it's kind of like littering because people don't even throw away trash in the garbage. And think about it, they're not helping the world because we don't throw away stuff. An animal, any kind of animal, can walk by and mistake it for food, and they eat it. Then the animal dies if it's choking on it. If it chokes on it for a while. So that leads to that. I mean, science is nice. At the same time, it could be bad for animals. So I just want to say, let's try to stop the war in many different ways. And stop littering because it leads to disaster, which goes to the ocean if you litter on the beach, which goes to a landfill, which is basically a little island on an ocean in the ocean area. And it leads to disasters because fish or turtles or whatever come by, get stuck in the ocean, and then they're coughing up because our trash that we didn't pick up goes into the ocean. So, I mean, I know this is a long video, but we have to clean up the world some way. And science has proven that we can without being a bad person by littering or doing stuff. I mean, like I said before, our animals and plant cells, we eat different things, but it doesn't matter. Like, there's people that are vegan and all that. I mean, I'm kind of on a new topic now, which I'm sorry I kind of stopped the other one. But depends, like, it doesn't matter if we're vegan or not, or like we're omnivores, carnivores, or herbivores. It doesn't matter. We still have to throw away stuff. Like, you don't want to leave a banana peel on the ground because then it just gets rotten and all that, and then someone has to pick it up, of course. But still, you do not want to be that bad guy throwing away stuff, like picking up after someone because you're not the bad guy, but the person that didn't throw it away kind of is. They're littering. It's not helping our planet, our solar system. Well, okay, not our solar system, but our planet. Plus, if you think about space, and like Star Wars, I mean, Star Wars isn't real, but there's also people out in space. I don't know if they're still fine up in space or not, but I know I heard that people were fine up in space, and the people that are doing missiles and all that, they're still leaving that junk up there, which I'm not part of NASA. I heard of NASA, and it would be so cool to work for them, even though I'm just 19, turning 20, Tuesday, but